Well, first of all, let me say, we all make mistakes. If there's a 50% chance of getting something right, I'd need 2 goes, at least 2 goes. My recent spat with the EV guy, I don't really want an apology because I've seen the way he talks to people. I've no respect for him whatsoever. So an apology wouldn't mean anything to me at all. But out of his own good grace, I would have thought he'd have just said, sorry, I got it wrong. Baz, you never say sorry. Well, so far, I'd have to say that when I say anything about EVs, I'm reacting to another article. I give my view of what I think about this article and point out where I think it's wrong, using my experience and referring to other things, to other stories, to cars that are for sale. So I provide evidence. However, I'm not infallible. And I'm just going to show you something. I know you're thinking, Baz, you are infallible, but honestly, I'm not. December 10th, 2023, a guy called Tom Callow. Me and Tom, we've had our spats going back years ago. I first started communicating with him when he was at, I think he was at Automotive Management. And they were going on about the percentage increase in EVs. This was years ago. And I pointed out that because it was such a little number, the percentage was stupid and blew things out of all proportion, whereas the numbers showed how pathetic it was. Now, also at the time, I pointed out that there was more write-offs, I think, on Auto Trader than there were EVs. Perhaps I should try and find that. Anyway, but the point is, when I'm wrong, I will hold my hand up. I got completely the wrong end of this story. Completely the wrong end. EV batteries usually have a lifetime of 8 to 10 years. However, once a battery reaches the end of its first use in an EV, there's still capacity left. These batteries may no longer be able to run vehicles. They could have second lives, storing the excess power generated by solar or wind farms. Fair enough. You know what I think about second-hand batteries? And you've seen that video I posted where his second-hand battery that was in his house started smoking. He tried to carry it out of his house and it blew his patio doors off.
2, 1, go! You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off!
And incinerated the inside of his house. And there's other problems with second-hand batteries. However, what I'd read was, in my head, was that these batteries were reduced in capacity. However, what I didn't understand and what Tom was trying to point out was that you can actually recycle an EV battery and use all the materials out of it, or most of the materials I would imagine out of it, and make another battery. Makes me wonder why you have to take all the stuff out and why it doesn't just stay like that. But anyway, and Tom here, Tom Callow, Automotive Tom, he has an EV consultancy, I think now. He used to write for a paper, I think, but now he's got his own EV consultancy. Sorry, Barry, but unless I'm mistaken, I think you're reading this as can't be recycled for use in new EVs. All they are saying is that a pack wouldn't be removed and shoved straight into a different EV. Packs from recycled materials will most certainly be used in new EVs. I looked at it. I tried my hardest to find the article where I'd read that once it had been used, and I may be imagining it, because I still haven't come across it today, so it looks pretty much that way. This is what I'd seen. Article was from battery recyclers, solving the battery recycling. That's what I'd read. So here we go. This is my tweet to Tom and everybody else. Okay, you will like this. Embarrassed face. I hold my hands up and I apologise. I have misread this and actually a couple of other reports where it stated that a battery can only be reused for a lesser purpose. but that's the actual battery as a whole. I'm sure that I saw a lecture on lithium batteries stating that the materials did not contain the same properties once they had been used, but I have watched so many I can't find it, and I am sure that this will come over as a cop-out. Tom, to his favour, could have, I told you you're a liar, this, that and the other. He didn't. Tom, we are all learning, including me. Me, that's very gracious of you, Tom. Now, I would like to think I'd have been as gracious to Jordan EV guy if he'd have said, Barry, I'm sorry, made a mistake. I'd like to think I'd have been like Tom. And that would have been the end of it. But no, he had to make things worse. He had to escalate it. Instead of putting in on his Facebook page where he'd called me a liar, sorry guys, I got this wrong. Even if he said he's not lied on this particular occasion, he hasn't got a Tesla. He's never made any secret that he's got an Ami. He's got a forum with 5,000 members in for Citroen Amis. He's got a YouTube Citroen Ami page. He test drives EVs. He likes city EVs, promotes city EVs. He thinks city EVs are the way forward for electric cars. If he'd have said anything like that, I'd have said, Jordan, no problems, we all make mistakes. No. What he did was change the little poster that he'd put in his Facebook page and not tell anybody. In fact, I never noticed. Somebody else sent it to me yet again. But also last night, he didn't just have a go at me, he started having a go at people on my YouTube channel, my subscribers. And I am so unbelievably grateful to these subscribers. They have allowed me to retire, get a reasonable income. I don't get paid by anybody else. Nobody pays me to say what I'm saying about EVs or ICE cars. Nobody. I don't get a penny. The only money I get is from advertising on YouTube. Nobody else pays me. So I defend my subscribers and I started joining in. And he doubled down and called me a liar again. And I'll just go through the timeline because this guy, I tried to stop him. I promise you I tried to stop him. Trust me, and anybody who knows me will tell you, I do not like arguing. I walk away. I don't want to argue. Stresses me out. What Jordan has done, where he'd put EV Lies Crampton has a Tesla Model 3, he's now put Citroen Ami and a laughing emoji. It's not funny. You've called me a liar. You've claimed I have a Tesla. Not that it makes any difference. If there was a cheap Tesla, I'd buy it. Out of all the EVs, I'd probably buy a Tesla. So, you know, that's not the point. The point is, this person is so arrogant that he's continued to call me a liar, even though he's been proved wrong. So this is the type of people that they attract. He runs a porter-cabin dodgy garage at the side of the road with loads of extremely high-mileage Land Rovers and BMWs. Not like the photos on his website at all. Wouldn't touch them with a barge pole. So this chap, Charlie Gilgood, is also kind of slandering me. That's completely untrue. All the Land Rovers, I've retired now, so that's completely wrong anyway. But all the cars that John and myself sold over the years weren't high mileage at all. They were older, so they were the correct kind of average miles for the years. But then we sold reasonably new ones too. So that is just Charlie Gilgood. That is a complete lie. And if you want to have a look, I used to do a 30-minute test drive and walk round of all the vehicles with a 4K camera, upload it in 4K. I used 5 GoPros, sometimes a 360 camera, And the camera that I'm filming this on, which is a Lumix GH5 Mark II, again shooting in 4K. So if Charlie Gilgood thinks that I go through 5 GoPros, 1, 2, 3, 4, one behind me, sometimes my glasses camera, sometimes another one 4K, and sometimes a 360 on the roof. So if Charlie Gilgood thinks I go through every frame and Photoshop it, every frame, 24 frames a second on each camera, and probably an hour's worth of footage on each camera, then all spliced into one, all put on top of one and edited. So if Charlie Gilgood thinks that I go through every single frame, like they used to do when they coloured, you know, Walt Disney, who shot in black and white and they coloured it, they'd have to pay every... If he thinks I sit here on my own and do that, he's out of his mind. He's out of his mind. He's out. You can see, he runs a porta cabin. I don't. Dodgy Garage, all those reviews, all those videos of all our cars. Replied to Charlie Gilgood, that's not true and I've retired anyway. Tell me, how do you make a 4K video that doesn't look like the car you were videoing? How did you find out? Are you sure? Sherlock the EV guys found out I run a Tesla from somebody local. I've got a YouTube channel with 50,000 subscribers. And as I say, I've got 5,000 subscribers on my Citroen Ami forum. I don't know how many subscribers on my Citroen Ami YouTube channel, only about 1,400 I think. But I also post the videos that I put on my Citroen Ami channel on my main channel. So everybody knows I've got a Citroen Ami. For God's sake, it's in my Twitter profile. How did you find out? Are you sure? Someone local. There you go. This is, I put my video up that I did yesterday on Jordan's channel. Martino Cabelli. And yet it is you who is the liar. Barrie has countless videos about his Ami and how much he loves it. He has always said that for the right use case, EVs work well, but that the use case is narrow compared to other vehicle types. His channel is about exposing lies, not anti-EV. The irony is that you have just exposed yourself as a liar. You have either been living under a rock or really are thick as shit. McMaster, Kieran Potts, wonder why my comment has disappeared. I can get into any authorised Tesla with my phone and it will automatically set up to my settings. Barrie makes out EVs are rubbish, but now we know his secret Tesla love. We realise he is full of hot air. Dave. Oh, I've replied to him. What did I say? You need to keep up with who is the one that's telling lies here, Dave, or is your name really Rodney? He's edited his claim just to save face, but not informed anybody in the group that he's edited the poster at the beginning. So they've left all the comments. They're ill-informed comments. They're uneducated comments. They've left them all on. And now they look as stupid as Jordan does. Cowboy up, admit you were wrong and admit that you published a complete lie whilst accusing others of lying. That's my Citroen Ami channel. That's my Citroen Ami. That's me in the Citroen Ami with my 5,000 members. This is my Citroen Ami forum, which I've had since 2022. And Sherlock Jordan found out I had a Tesla from someone local. Then when I told him I didn't, he changed his lie to say that I had an Ami. It was hardly a secret. Now then, as I say, what made it worse, that it was in my rear view, honestly. But yesterday, Jordan started leaving posts on my YouTube channel. Somebody put, EV guy's the most deluded liar on social media. And he's responded there, yet no one can ever prove it. Weird. Sorry, Jordan, have you not been following your own Facebook post? Weird. I proved it, you lied, and got caught out bang to rights. And then I'm making a video, and I went through to my comments, and I can find everybody else's comments except Jordan's replies, and Jordan's comments to me, they've gone. Fortunately, I screenshotted them when he did them, so I've still got copies. Hence, I'm just reminding him. Just making my next YouTube video, but you seem to have deleted all the comments you left on my YouTube channel yesterday. Don't worry though, I screen captured them before you did. You're welcome. Oh look, you should watch my channel, Jordan, before mouthing off. That's my review on the Ioniq 5, which I liked. Ioniq 6, I like that too, I'm sorry, but you were making a nuisance of yourself on my channel, so here is my review on the Ioniq 6. I think you'll find that I liked it. An electric Citroen. Fancy an electric Citroen? I did. It was good. If they suit your needs, they're ideal. Jordan here, yesterday. Thanks for the advert. However, I do apologise, I got the EV wrong. Have you figured out why all those EVs were SORN yet? And then he sent this message asking me this question. Have you figured out why all those EVs were SORN yet? Now, I sent a Freedom of Information request to the DVLA and I asked them a lot of questions and they were as evasive and vague as they possibly could be with the answers, and I didn't trust the information. One thing did stand out and that was the SORN vehicles, but I still didn't trust it. And not wanting to publish any lies so people go, ah, you liar, I didn't do it. I spoke to Jeff Buys Cars about it. And the same day, a journalist rang me up and asked me about this information. I gave him the information. I gave Jeff Buys Cars the information. The thing that stood out was there was 30,000. It said there was 30,000 electric vehicles SORNed. Where would they go? When you SORN a vehicle, that's a way of claiming the road tax back, but it's off the road. It's taken off the road. It can't be on a public road or else you'll get clamped or fined or towed away. Now, when a vehicle goes into trade hands, you put it on the internet as in trade hands and the previous owner gets the road tax back. When you SORN it, but that's in trade hands on your garage, so it's off the road, but you don't count as an owner. When you SORN it, it's the same owner. It doesn't go into trade hands, you SORN it and it's you who've SORNed it, but it has to be off the road. So it was showing 30,000 off the road, but I wanted to get more information. Each question I asked them, in my opinion, they deliberately gave me a vague answer, which I could misinterpret. So I didn't act on the information. It took me 2 months to get it, and I just thought I'd do it again, and another 2 months, I'd get the same thing. If you've ever watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where they wait hundreds of years for an answer, from deep answer to life, the universe and everything, they wait hundreds and hundreds of years, they get the answer, and the answer's 42. That's basically what the DVLA did to me. I asked them all these questions, and they gave me 42. What the fuck? So I didn't use it. Jeff is cleverer than me. And he pointed it out to people in a way that I couldn't, and deliberately said it needs more investigation, but that figure is worrying. However, Jordan, the EV guy, have you figured out why all these EVs were SORN yet? Well, that's a simple answer. They were SORNed because they're not being used on the road. They're not in trade hands, so they're either private people or there could be 30,000 2024 vehicles off the road, parked up somewhere. They had to tax them to get them as a registration. And now they've SORN them because they want the tax back. There's no point in them sitting on an airfield or, you know, a shipyard or in a compound with the tax ticking away. You've got to mitigate your losses. So you SORN them, get your tax back, but you can't use them on the road. I've no idea. The 30,000, I just haven't got the time. I haven't got the will. I haven't got the inclination to get in touch with the DVLA again. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're in on the subterfuge. They could give us all the honest figures, but they choose not to. So that was my answer. But he asked me 6 times, and I told him, oh, and the 6 times you asked me about the SORN EVs, and I had to tell you that it was someone else who made the video. But he's trying to make me look like a liar or evading this question when it wasn't me. Fancy not even telling your followers that you'd change your original claim. How can anyone believe what you say in future? And this is it. These are some of the ones that have been deleted or disappeared. I don't know, perhaps YouTube have censored them because later on Jordan says he's not deleted them, but they're not showing on my channel. Oh dear Jordan, when you're in a hole, stop digging. You're showing yourself up even more. I have no wish to embarrass you. I was just correcting your lies and your insults. Unfortunately, I couldn't load more than one picture at a time, so I apologise to his followers because it's kind of appearing like spam. So Jordan replied to me, insult, question marks, and crying emoji. There was no insult, just information, albeit the wrong model of car, but the point stands perfectly. It's funny, the anti-EV content creators are ballsy enough to make money spreading lies, affect others' opinions and education on a topic for financial gain. Attack people's appearance, but don't like being called what they are, hypocrites. I merely pointed out that the people who commented on his video yesterday had a different dress sense than me. Some of them are, you know, obviously I get comments like, I wouldn't be seen dead in that, but that's you. You know, I mean, we've just seen some of the people who've commented about me. I wouldn't be seen dead in the clothes or the suits they wear, but that's their choice. You know, if you want to dress like that, that's fine. That's how they want to dress, fair enough. People don't like the way I dress, they don't like my jackets. What they don't know is the jackets I wear on YouTube, I wear purposely because I get more comments about my jacket and my YouTube channel gets promoted. So they call me names and they're actually helping my YouTube channel. You know, as I've said in previous videos, if there's an easy way to do something, then I'll find it. They also go immediately on the defensive and play victim to try and cover their tracks. 6th time, have you found those SORN EVs overnight? You've had enough time to correct your misinformation. It's the DVLAs. It's on a freedom of information sheet, which I gave to Jeff Buys Cars. He showed the sheet as far as I know. How is it my misinformation? That's what they've supplied me with. That's what the DVLA have said. How am I misinforming anybody? I'm not just plucked a figure out of thin air like these people do. And again, you can't say that I didn't try to stop him. Jordan the EV guy, I'm afraid you haven't watched my videos, otherwise you would realise what a fool you're making of yourself. Please stop now. You are becoming a nuisance. Jordan the EV guy, don't be afraid, just inform with all the facts. Until next time. Jordan, I just react and correct misinformation given out by the EV Angelus. I'm sorry that you can't see that. Let EVs sell on their own naturally without lies and name calling to those who don't want one. They will do fine if they are allowed to sell organically, then residuals will recover and everyone will be happy. If people buy things that they have been led to believe will suit their needs and it doesn't, it creates instant buyer's remorse and an unhappy customer. You are part of the problem, Jordan, not the solution. Hope that helps. To make matters worse for you, I also think you are confusing me with another YouTuber, Reece Sorns. But to be honest, I have zero respect for you, but I don't want you to keep making a nuisance on my channel and showing yourself up. For the good of the motor trade, if EVs are going to be a thing until hydrogen comes along, smiley face or smiley crying face, then they need to be sold properly and not bigged up by shills to line their own pockets. Sorry again, but for those of you that have had a go at me in the comments before I was alerted, perhaps you will be better informed now. Thank you. If Jordan wants to take it any further, which I'm sure he will do, watch out for video 3. Automotive Tom pointed out I was mistaken. It was a genuine mistake. I held my hands up. If I make any mistakes, I refer to articles. And I actually learned from, Tom taught me a lesson there, because I actually learned from that. What I should have done was attach the article, which is what I do now. So you will notice that everything I say, I've either got an article where it's come from and say who it is. I put a screenshot so you can find it yourself just to check I've not photoshopped it. I do my best. And also, if you've got any ideas how I could make my channel better, apart from deleting it obviously, please get in touch. This chap is seriously misguided. This is his website, about the EV guy. There you go. His partners, I'd probably be upset if I was his partner. The way he talks to people, not giving a good impression. But, you know, I fly off the handle too sometimes. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps he's been having a bad couple of days and he wants to take it out on me. I've got broad shoulders, carry on. Another funny thing, you'd laugh at this, but people obviously accuse me of being paid by oil companies. Nobody pays me at all. No one pays me. And you know, the other funny thing is that I actually make less money doing EV videos than I did doing my car reviews and my how-to Bluetooth videos. But as far as I'm concerned, this is corruption. The way EVs are being sold at the moment, it's a massive Ponzi scheme, and it's propped up by liars telling you things that aren't true to line their own pocket, or not exactly to line their own pockets, but to minimize the losses, or to try and minimize the losses. That's what they're doing it for. You wouldn't hear word one out of them. If EVs were going through the auction, they were going for way over book and they were coining it in, that you wouldn't hear word one from them. But that's not the case. So honestly, thanks for watching. I don't know what to say, because I'm pretty sure that everybody I've worked with knows that I tell the truth. Anybody who's worked underneath me knows that I tell the truth. And also, even my bosses, anybody who has been my boss knows I tell the truth, no matter what the consequences. I once got fired from a job. There was 4 salesmen and we were having a bad time. And 3 of them were married with kids, and there was me. The first 3 went in, the sales manager was interviewing them. What do you think the problem is? Why aren't we selling cars? Came to my turn. What do you think the problem is? Why aren't we selling cars? The problem is you. Sorry? The problem's you. You don't know what you're doing and you can't value cars. Excuse me? Yet you can't value cars. Look at the deal book. It proves that you can't value cars. We sell cars with no part exchanges. We sell cars that are from other manufacturers. We don't sell cars to people who are part Xing our own product. And that's because you can't value them. If we get them underwritten, we get better underwrites than other dealers. So we sell that car. If we're taking it into stock and you value it, we can't do the deal because they're being offered more money elsewhere. You are the problem. Guess how long I lasted after that? I can't lie. I'm sorry. If you think you may not like the answer, don't ask me the question. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.